right, we'll go ahead and get started with the Combined Neighborhood Watch and Amazing Citizen Award. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lieutenant Ashley Banks with the Culpeper Police Department. Before we get started, I would like to recognize a few people that are with us today. Town Manager Chris Hively is here with us. Mayor Frank Reeves is in the back as well. We have council members Megan Taylor is here. J.D. Schmidt is here. Joe Short is here. We have Chief Junior Perryman is here. Let's see. We have former council member and former Amazing Award winner Keith Price is here. And we also have three other former Amazing Citizen Award winners. Ann Laster is with us tonight, and so is Dave and Joanne Doerr. So without further ado, I know why y'all are here is for Mr. R.E. Deane. And we have a great short video to show just what makes Mr. Deane so amazing.
Welcome to Culpeper, a town and county unlike any other. Pastoral views, a vibrant downtown, where destinations and activities abound. There is one aspect in particular that helps Culpeper rise above the rest: the people. Every day, all over the community, people are working to make a difference.
Amazing Citizen to me is a person that is involved with helping the community, assisting the community, going out of their way to assist others, making the community better, and always trying to be a role model for others.
Means they have gone far beyond normal people in helping the community and anybody they see in need.
It's people who give to the community. You look at what your community's needs are, and when you see a need that exists, you step in and fill it.
Think of others before you think of yourself. You have to be sort of sure of yourself when you're volunteering. You have to do what you thoroughly believe in.
It means someone that's very dedicated to his or her community, that's involved in lots of worthwhile projects.
I think it embodies somebody who is maybe a little bit selfless, who probably gives a lot of themselves to try to make where they live a little bit better.
They see community service as an essential ingredient. R.E. did and still does.
R.E. is a very conscientious person, very sincere.
He gives completely of himself to the community.
R.E. has dedicated himself. Of course, he's in the fire department, been a member for I think 63 years. He's on our wellness committee, checks on any individual that's been sick, hospitalized, make sure they're okay. He goes around and still visits other individuals not in the fire company, and he's a big part of the community. He still comes by the firehouse at least one time every day to check and see who's there, what's going on. Most time he comes by 2 or 3 times a day.
And 63 years, of being committed to our community and helping others from that respect, that alone is an amazing attribute that he has.
He has been active and involved in lots of activities, and he's been in the Lions Club for more than 40 years.
I think he's been a Lion as long as our club has existed.
He was a charter member of the Salem Ruritan Club.
And not only that, he was on town council and of course vice mayor, so he's had a lot of shoes he's filled. And I don't know how many other civic organizations he's a member of. I know he did and does a lot with the VFW. It helps him a lot. So he's spends a lot of time with a lot of organizations to benefit and help Culpeper and the surrounding area.
You know, I would feel lucky if my house lasts 60 years, so let alone to be able to volunteer and give of yourself that much. So.
When there's a need, he will step in and help.
You need something, if you ask RE, he'll take care of it. If he can't do it, he'll find somebody that will.
There's no one that I know that's more caring about people than Mr. Deane. He is always there when you need him. He's even there when you don't need him.
Since I've gotten to know Ari, he is a joy to be around, makes you laugh.
I think everyone that gets to know Ari just loves him.
Ari is a wonderful person. He and his wife have been friends of mine for years.
When you need a friend, Ari is always there. He's been there for me, and he continues to be there for me.
He is an amazing man. He's very serious. He's there if you need him. He is a good man and a good friend.
He loves his community. And when you talk to him, you can tell that. And when you talk to him, you can tell that he's proud of living in Culpeper and proud of what he's done in the past.
He loves his country, I know that. He loves his town, and he is trying to give back as best he can, even at the age that he is.
Ari has had a profound impact on Culpeper, and it's because he's always there. You know, I don't know what the volunteer fire department would be without Ari Deane. You know, it's astounding. His history of being involved in this community now spans nearly his entire lifetime. And Ari is getting on up there in years, and he's still energized, and still, when he's got something that he needs to get done, he's out there doing it, which I think really says a lot about the quality of the individual.
I hope that when I'm 90, that I'm doing some of the same things that Ari is doing.
Mr. Deane, I just want to congratulate you on being honored as an amazing citizen. I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, congratulations on your award. Do me one favor, just don't let it go to your head, but I would like to see it.
Ari, you're well deserving.
I am privileged to congratulate you because you are probably on my list at the top of being most deserving.
Ari, I can think of no better person than to receive this award, so congratulations, my friend.
What I really like to say to Ari is thank you for all that you've done for this community. There are very few people who've done it as selflessly as you have done it for Culpeper. And I deeply appreciate your involvement and your friendship.
Chief Settle and Deputy Chief Chilton to come up to present the plaque and gifts to Mr. Deane. And the roast.
I got to say a few words. I'll make my remarks short, so we'll yield our time to you. Yeah.
We color coordinated our shirts for you, and you missed it, so you're not going to be allowed.
We'll make sure we yield our time so you have a lot of floor time. Ari, congratulations. Much overdue, much deserved, and I would tell you as many times that as you've spoken on behalf of other Chris R. Jenkins Amazing Citizen Award winners, this is well deserved, and what you've done for a community can't be really spoken of. And legacy, you know, kind of legacy of a person. When I think about legacy, is how, you know, who have you impacted? We never even known it. And I know as a small child, as a boy growing up in this community, everybody knew R.E. Deane. That's no kidding. I mean, as a young boy going to the fireman's parade, you always see R.E. Deane in the parade. You go to the carnival, you see R.E. Deane in the carnival. So you always knew who R.E. Deane was. Go to the ball field, you see R.E. Deane. I always remember him riding on that old fire truck, pulling that rope and that annoying horn up and down the main street. That thing was annoying, but R.E. would have a blast with that thing. But and then as we move on, R.E. Was on town council when I was hired, and when Deputy Chief Chilton was hired, and we got sworn in Old Town Hall up on West Davis Street, upstairs, in a smoke-filled council room, and yep, and R.E. was there when we got sworn in that evening up there, and that was a memorable night for me, and R.E. was there. So R.E. has always been there in my life, in my professional life, and just a broad spectrum of people that he's impacted throughout this community. You got the fire service, you have Lions Club, you have VFW, and it just goes on and on and on, how many people and how many organizations he's really impacted directly. It's really a testament to who he is as a person, and not even counting the years he served our country, and that can't be forgotten. So I know there's several veterans in this room right here. If you're a veteran, please raise your hand. Wow, my goodness. Give a round of applause for that. Wow. Yeah, it was half the room. It's incredible. So, R.E., we do appreciate you. The community loves you. The police department loves you. When R.E. joined the midday lines, see, R.E. was on the line there for a long time, and he came and joined the midday lines. And their meetings were really kind of calm and uneventful and kind of status quo, and here comes R.E. coming along. And our meetings became much more opinionated and much more robust, to say a few words, to put a word on it, and much more eventful, I should say, right, Ann? But he has served Lions Club honorably, and I'll tell you that there's no one more deserving of this award than R.E.D. And still today, this last week, I rode by the fire department. Here's R.E. sitting on the bumper of a fire truck, waiting for something to do. So, and he'll be on that bumper of that fire truck for many years to come. So I can't think of a more deserving person for the Chris R. Jenkins Amazing Citizen Award than R.E. Deane. So, R.E., come forward.
Oh, please. Thank you, brother. I don't deserve a bit of this.
So I'm going to read to you. I don't have my glasses. I'm going to do my best. And with great honor, we present Russell R.E. Deane with the Chris R. Jenkins Amazing Citizen Award in recognition of your endless efforts dedicated to community outreach and involvement, the Colorado Police Department, and the community you serve.
Thank you, brother.
We ain't done yet. I appreciate your dedication and unconditional support. Your commitment to community service truly epitomizes what makes you an amazing citizen. Congratulations on this outstanding accomplishment, July 2023.
Thank you, fella.
Thank you. Thank you. And we have, as you stand here, we have some more.
Well, when are you going to let me talk?
No. You don't talk. You don't talk this event. We'll let Mr. Chilton present you some more awards.
All right.
You stay right there.
Let me get my stick. I don't stand well at this time.
It's like a kickstand.
Thank you, brother.
Piedmont Steakhouse is the first one.
Thank you.
Here's another one for Knackles.
Thank you. I'll turn this right over to my son. Let them take it.
Oh, there you go. Shenandoah Garden Spot.
Thank you, man. Thank them.
Moving Meadows gift certificate. That's another one downtown.
Yep, I'll use that.
About time. That's a big.
Oh, boy.
So all this is food. I'm not sure
We're
if you've seen all
going
that.
to get some good shrimp there.
We got one from Green Roost.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
My name is Jimmy. I'll take all you give me. Thank you, brother.
And this one we'll leave up here for right
Yeah.
now, but this is also yours.
I'm going to get my daughter-in-law to take that for me.
And now we're going to let you talk.
Now, your son Timmy said, "Be careful giving you a microphone," but I overruled them, and the mic,
You know, I'm very.
and the microphone is yours. Now, just remember, you're on Facebook Live, so there you have a lot of people watching live TV on you right now. So just want to put that out there.
do the best I can.
There's no buffer there, so.
Well, I'm not amazing. You people that all turned out today to see me are the amazing people. It's easy for me to do things for people because I was lucky. I was raised in a Christian home in a good Baptist church, and we gave back. We were taught that at an early age, excuse me, to give back. So it's been no problem with me, and I didn't realize it when I was younger. I was in the Navy 3 years, 11 months, and 22 days. Went around the world twice. I'll tell you about that in about another half an hour. I didn't realize it, but I was giving back then, so it's been no problem. Half of this goes to my wife, Pat. She was a motivator. She was in Lions Club. She was in the fire department. She was in the VFW auxiliary. Tried to keep an eye on me, but it was hard. In those days, I wasn't as good as they claim I was. I liked those happy hours in those hospitality rooms. I called them beverages and cold ones. But I'm not going to talk long because they've said it all. But seriously, if it hadn't been for my wife, a young girl, I married her from J.J. Newberry's. That's what A&P. So I told her, she was just young out of high school, if she would marry me, I would put shoes on her feet and rings on her fingers. So what happened was I married her. We were living in the medical art building in 1957, paying $60 a month rent. We went to the movies once a week. They had one movie a week then. $1 would get us in the movie, 2 soft drinks and some Cracker Jacks, some popcorn. So now I try to go to the movies for $1. So anyway, she deserves most of this credit. And I've been around good leaders. All my life I've had good leaders. And good leaders makes a good follower. So I consider myself as a good follower. And I've got a couple little stories to tell you. They mentioned all the clubs, but I belong to a very prestigious club called the George Stover Greenhouse Gang, where my good friend here is the chairman, CEO, retired Navy captain. He's the moderator. I go there for therapy. We go there on Tuesday and Saturday from 4 o'clock in the morning to about 9. And we've got lawyers, we've got doctors, we've got engineers, and we've got guys like me, the normal general pig farmer. But we take care of all the worldly affairs, the police, the sheriffs, everything, government. There's nothing undone. And I want to thank you all. I've got one sea story to tell you, and I'm on the cable commission. That beautiful young lady back there is doing all the work. She's one of my bosses. Now, I want to ask you all a question. Some of you fit you and some of you don't. Oh, by the way, my pastor's here, and when he gets ready to finish his sermon, he'll say, now, I'm slowing down now. I'll be through in a minute. 30 minutes later, he runs out of words. So I'm going to stick it to you today, buddy. The George Stover Club is a nice bunch of guys to be with. I'm telling you, they really are sincere, and they really add to my life. Now, where were you all 70 years ago, some of you? Can you remember where you were 70 years ago today? 70 years ago today, I was on a destroyer, the USS Cushing, 5-inch guns. We were firing off of the coast of Korea, Wonsan Harbor, in which adjusts to the South China Sea. We fired for about 3 days and nights. So on the 27th day of July, I was getting ready to get in a gun mount. That day I was manning the phones, and all of a sudden it came over the PA system. This is the captain speaking. Now hear this. The Koreans have surrendered. So that little vessel I was on and what little I did scared those doggone Koreans so till they retired. That's my sea story. I'm sticking to it because it's true. I want to thank you all for coming out to be with me. God love you, and have a safe trip home. Did I do all right? scraped that thing right quick, didn't you? You're doing good.
You finished about 20 minutes less than I thought you were going to finish. At this time, we're going to take a break, right, Lieutenant Banks? Taking a break? So we're going to take about a 10-minute break, and RE, you got a lot of pictures to take. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one thing. We got one special guest here. We have a representative from our House of Representatives, 7th District, Abigail Spanberger. Her representative, Mark Reborden's here to provide something for Mr. RE as well. Almost forgot about you, Mark.
No, I'm mobile. I'm sold.
It's going to be hard to follow that up. So my name is Mark Borden. I'm from Congresswoman Spanberger's office, and I'm here to personally deliver a letter of congratulations to Mr. Deane here. Dear Mr. Deane, as the U.S. Representative for Virginia's 7th Congressional District, I'm pleased to offer you my congratulations on receiving the Culpeper Police Department's Chris R. Jenkins Amazing Citizen Award. The Amazing Citizen Award recognizes individuals in the community who go above and beyond in making Culpeper a better place. Throughout your life you spent in Culpeper, you've dedicated your time and energy both in service to this community and this country. From your work with the Culpeper Volunteer Fire Department to the time you spent on town council serving as vice mayor and council member, your commitment to Culpeper is very clear. Beyond your official roles in the county, you've always gone above and beyond in service to your neighbors. Your Lions Club and Ruritan's work are a testament to the community-focused mentality that you approach each day with, and you have always been a joyous addition to any event. It is clear to this community how deserving you are of an honor such as this, and it is my pleasure to congratulate you on a well-deserved recognition. Thank you again for your dedication to your neighbors and the community. Your acts of kindness and selflessness are inspiring, and they have not gone unnoticed. I'm pleased to join with the Culpeper Police Department in recognizing you, and I look forward to future opportunities to thank you for your service to the community. Sincerely, Congresswoman Spanberger.
Thank you, young man, for coming. Appreciate it. You tell her I thank her, too.
I think myself and Deputy Chief Chilton should be invited out to the Dover Club one morning, the Greenhouse Club. We would love probably to come out there one morning. See what, we're very curious what this thing's all about. JR, yeah?
Jim will take your dues.
Very good. We'll look forward to it. We're going to take about a 10 to 15-minute break. We do have a very good program tonight as well, so get more food. Only reason we're taking a break is we're going to take a lot of pictures of RE. Hopefully it doesn't break the camera. With his family, his friends, and get more to eat. There's desserts back there. There's plenty to drink. So, and hang around. We have a good program talking about some police departments, emerging technologies that we got maybe coming forward in the future and what we're kind of doing now. So we'll take about a 10-minute break. Thanks.
All right. We'll go ahead and get started with the second half or portion of our program. There's going to be a slight change in the program. What I'm going to do, instead of introduction of our guest speakers, I'm going to have Captain Terrell come up, and he is going to do the introduction of new officers. So, Captain Terrell, would you please come up? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? Great to see you out here. I'd like to introduce our newest addition to the police department, Catherine Payne. Would come front and center. Put the spotlight on her. She has a tremendous speech for you. It's going to be epic, to use the chief's words. Catherine is a resident of Culpeper. She's been here approximately 15 years. She comes to us by way of Charlottesville Police Department. She lives in the community. She has a 5-year-old son. She wants to serve the community in which she lives. With that being said, are there any words that you have, Officer Payne?
Yeah, thank you all for the opportunity. I'm really looking forward to getting to know all of y'all better as I work in the community. And that is my entire speech.
Thank you. You're most likely to encounter Officer Payne. She's assigned to the night shift, so good luck to Officer Payne. Thank you.
Good job, young man. You didn't have to leave.
Now we'll go ahead and get back on track with our program. So I would like to introduce our guest speakers tonight. The first is Chief of Police Christopher Settle and Senior Police Technology Officer Todd DeRica. They will be speaking on the emerging police technology for our community at the PD. Gentlemen.
I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna take it out. All right, Nicole. So, why emerging technology is important to law enforcement? So we thought it was important as we progress. We have purchased and procured some technologies here in the Culpeper Police Department in the town of Culpeper that we're currently using, and we have some plans to implement some technologies that we want to use. So why is it important? Well, as we all know, technology is ever changing, right? So as technology changes, we have to adapt to that. We have to get up to speed to that and use that technology to our advantages. As we all know, criminals, as we all know, scams and fraud calls you guys get probably every day, and I get them. Criminals are using technology more so than ever. So a lot of crimes, they have more advanced technology than the police. A lot of times, and that's just not here, that's nationwide. So we have to make sure that we are using the utmost technology to combat criminals. Provide better services to victims of crime, right? That's our main subjective at the police department, is to serve our victims of crime. And using technology to bring persons to apprehension as fast as we can and honor those victims. Workforce multiplier is a big thing. So technology, more advanced technology can provide a workforce multiplier, can do things that a police officer would normally do, and actually the technology can do it for the police officer. So, instead of, for example, right now, if we have a crime at Walmart, let's say a robbery today, knock on wood, right now we have to go to Walmart, find a person who has access to the video system, who can actually run the video system, which is really rare, upload that video, which is really rare. We were always run to snags and technology because of different systems, and then take that video, upload it to a system within the police department to make it usable, and then shoot it out to all of our officers. Well, by the time that process happens, it could be several hours, days, or sometimes weeks before we get video back. So how do we leverage that technology in real time to use for officers to actually respond to that call? Sometimes having that video feed before the officers even get to the call at Walmart, it's already on their phones, right? So that's where we're going. So stay tuned. And a deterrent to future crime, right? So if the criminals know we have this technology, they may not commit the crime, right? So if they know that the town of Culpeper and Culpeper Police Department is using these technologies, then if I'm a criminal, I'm not going to come to Culpeper and commit a crime. Thank you, Nicole. So there's a balancing act, right? So one of the reasons why we're doing this presentation tonight is to make sure that we have we kind of handle this balancing act. The issues of privacy. Privacy is just as important to me as it is to you, right? So we got to make sure that we ensure your privacy as a citizen, as a law-abiding citizen, but while also balancing using technology to solve crime. So that is the balancing act. That's why we're here tonight, to let you know how we're going to kind of balance that act a little bit, because we do not want to infringe on any one individual's rights to privacy, but we also want to use technology to solve crime. So it is a balancing act. So Nicole, next. So how do we do that balancing act? So as we look at technology, how do we get there? One, federal and state codes. As we know, there's federal and state codes that really address pretty much any technology we have. As far as license plate readers, there's technology, there's codes that address how much and how long we can retain that data. There's, who's heard of AI? AI is the thing now, right? So everywhere I saw somewhere in India, AI has generated a newscaster, and it's producing the news instead of a human in India. Using the AI technology, they've created the news lady, which is really weird. So, but AI is taking over stuff like that. So, but Virginia, this General Assembly has addressed AI with codes, and it kind of keeps us in check, which is a good thing. That's the balancing act. UAVs, drones. When we say UAVs, we mean drones. There are state codes that mandates how we operate air drones. We just can't fly them over your house indiscriminately and at will. There are certain benchmarks that we have to hit to be able to fly that drone over your house and do surveillance. Ethics and best practices. So that's a big thing now, ethics and best practices. As we know, like CLIA is one of those things. We're CLIA accredited. CLIA addresses the use of technology in our communities. International Association of Chiefs of Police provide best practices. There's many different organizations that provides input on the use of technology in law enforcement. ACLU, they have everything addressed using technology. I know when we started our body-worn camera program, the ACLU was a big factor out there on how you use body-worn cameras, when not to use them, when you can turn them on, when you can turn them off, how you can use that data, how long you retain that data. So it's a lot there, but following best practices is part of that balancing act. Departmental policy. So as those things kind of build up, federal state codes, ethics, best practices, then we develop department policies. So our officers, detectives, anybody within the agency has to follow those department policies and they use that technology. And then transparency to the community. That's a big factor. That's what we're doing here tonight, right? So we're going to do this more often, but to let our citizens know what technology we're using. It's nothing secret squirrel. How are we going to use it? And when are we going to use it? And if we do use it and we catch, or we capture something that we shouldn't capture, is to let the citizen know that we did capture something that we didn't capture. So have that full audit trail, full auditing rights for the citizen to know when they were under some type of technology that they wasn't meant to be. So transparency is huge. And most of this technology we're talking about tonight is OSINT, open source intelligence. Most of the stuff is actually accessible to the public. So most of the technology we're tapping into is in the public domain. It's like cameras at the depot. There's cameras at the depot right now. So when you're in a public space, you just got to assume there's no right to privacy in the public space. So we have cameras there to monitor certain things. We had a mob assault there a couple years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. And those cameras were huge, where 13 people ended up getting arrested, Terrell. So we got that all okay. We didn't have those cameras down there. We probably didn't have a case. It was a big mess. Someone almost lost a life down there. So what are we currently using? So right now today, as we sit here, what are we using now? So one thing we're using right now is flock. There's a typo there. Flock safety license plate readers. So they're called LPRs. So what an LPR is, it captures your license plate. But not only captures your license plate, it catches other metadata, such as your vehicle color, type of vehicle, any characteristics on your vehicle, like a bumper sticker or a roof rack or a luggage rack. It will capture all that data into a picture, and it will capture your tag. We only can retain that for 30 days, unless it gets caught up into an investigation, then we can retain it longer. So if you just come through, Joe's citizen goes through that license plate reader, and nothing's up with that car, then it gets washed after 30 days. Automatic, the retention goes away. And we'll talk more about flock safety in a second. Vigilante town cameras. The town has made a commitment to purchase cameras in the town. We have access to those town cameras, and we use those when there's a crime being committed or we need to surveil something like somebody under a search warrant, et cetera, for vigilante town cameras. So that's another kind of technology we're using currently. And another technology we're using currently, a couple years ago, council supported and funded an unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, which is our drones. So I think now we have how many drones do we have? 9? 8 or 9? We have 8 or 9 drones as we sit here now. We just bought 3 more through a grant. So that didn't cost you any money locally. They're interior drones. We fly them inside buildings. They can go on these tables, under the chairs, without wrecking them too much. Yeah, first person view. You put these goggles on. It's like it's like playing a video game. But all the video comes back in 4K, immediate. So you imagine a search warrant where someone has a weapon, and we go in before the house. We can send that drone in, get that real-time intelligence to see what the bad guy's at, see what he's doing, see what he has, see all the information that he has before we send a human in there. It might cost the drone $300, the aircraft, but that's okay. That's way cheaper than an officer or someone getting hurt. But we can send that drone in there before. So I'm going to take it over to Todd because I'm not a techie. I know enough to get in trouble, but Todd DeRica, he's our forensic specialist and a technology officer, and he can tell you all about an overview about flock cameras, the Vigilant cameras, and our drones.
Good evening. So this is a picture of what the flock camera looks like. This is called a Falcon. We have a few of them in town now, and we have several on order that will go up in certain intersections. They mount to a pole. They're solar powered, and they can read thousands of plates in an hour. They're designed to capture the rear of the car because most cars have most states have rear license plates required. Not all states require a front license plate. So they capture the rear license plate, and that also goes into the privacy. They try not to capture from the front because they're not necessarily trying to capture who's driving the car. They're just trying to capture the car. Within 5 to 10 seconds, when this captures a plate, it will send that to a list, and there's about 250,000 plates that are entered, whether it's a stolen car, a stolen license plate, a wanted person, a missing child associated with that plate, and it'll give a return, and we can show you what that looks like. Go ahead to the next slide. So this is what the search tool looks like, and this camera you can see is at Rockwater Park inbound. So if you pull up into Rockwater Park, you'll see the camera right there on the left, and it's grabbing the tags off of these vehicles as they go in there. So each time that an officer does a search for a time frame, or say they don't have a tag, but they're doing, that's in one of the next slides, but they're doing a search for a specific vehicle. Up here in the top where I have demo in there, you have to put a reason. And this is all logged. So if the officer is doing this and they have a case number related to it, they're gonna put a case number in there. So it logs it. Go to the next slide. And this is just an example of, again, Rockwater Park, but a nighttime picture. And you can see that it still reads the plate, even in the dark. Yep, that's the actual plate, and then gives you, obviously, date and time that read happened. Next slide. So this is an example of the analytics that are built into these flock cameras. If you notice, all of these pictures are black Dodge pickup trucks. So you can actually do a search. For example, the chief's example, a robbery just occurred at one of the businesses in town. Witness says that it was a black Dodge pickup, but nobody got a tag. We can go back to this, and during that time frame that the robbery occurred, we can see if any black Dodge pickups showed up on our cameras. Now you notice that this search I did, these cameras are from all over. We have access to thousands of these cameras throughout the entire country. If other agencies agree to share their cameras with us, then we can see, what they have on their cameras. And again, these reads are only up there for 30 days. Next slide. So this is actually my car. We can create what we call a hot list. So if there are certain tags or people that are wanted, like we have, a list of active wanted people on felony warrants, we can plug those tags in if that person has a vehicle. So we just put my tag in there, and I drove up into Rockwater, and it sets off an alert. So the officers can have this up on their computers in their cars, and all they have to do is it's web-based, so they have this screen up. It will also send you an email and a text message. And again, within 8-10 seconds after driving through that camera, it sends that email, text message, and if they have the computer up, it sends off a little alarm and it pops up on their screen. So then the officers that are working can respond to that area and try and intercept that person and see if the person driving is, in this case, maybe the wanted person, or if the vehicle is wanted for whatever reason it's entered for. And it'll pop up and it'll tell them exactly what they're wanted for. Next slide. So now we're getting into the Vigilant camera system that we have in town. We started off kind of with a pilot program here at the police department to replace our aging system, video surveillance system. And so far we've installed in all these different locations that you can see listed here. And I've got a couple pictures. Now, what's interesting about these cameras is this particular one, they've got multiple heads in them, so it's like it's a 3-head camera, and it does 180 degrees. So it's not like the old cameras where you put a camera up and you point it in one direction and that's all you get to see. This thing shows you 180 degrees. Next slide. So this is our latest installation up at Rockwater Park. This is just one of the heads on that 3-head camera that you can see. Gives you a shot of the bathroom facilities and the parking lot, and then of course the splash pad in the background. And these, not all of the cameras, but several of these exterior cameras have analytics built into them. For example, you can see the box that it has drawn around the vehicle back there, and it'll sense motion. So if some vehicle back there was probably moving, so it senses the motion on that. And we can set alarms on these cameras. So for example, if we set an alarm, nobody's supposed to be at Rockwater, say between 9 o'clock at night and 5 o'clock in the morning, we can have it send us an email that somebody's there. Yes, sir.
I hate to interrupt you, I have a question. I know the county and state take care of the schools, but do you have anything like that at the entrances of the schools that are in town?
I'm not sure if the schools do or not.
I'm not sure. They certainly should. If they don't, they should take this example and run with it.
Yeah, they should. And speaking to that about the Flock license plate reader system, that actually started for homeowners associations and neighborhood watch groups. The individual that started it was unhappy with some stuff that was going on in his neighborhood, so he developed an app, and the app just mushroomed and turned into these license plate reader systems. And those systems are actually available for any homeowners association or business, or like the schools. They could put them at every entrance to every school and capture every tag that comes in there. That's a great idea. Next slide, Nicole. This is just another example. This is our safe trade zone that I'm sure you guys know out front of the PD. We do have a camera that's trained on this, obviously 24 hours a day, and it's always recording. Next slide. Here's one of the pictures of the courtyard there at the depot. This is the same camera view that captured that incident that the chief mentioned where 13 people were arrested. The melee actually took place literally right in front of this camera. And this has come in helpful in some other cases too, where Amtrak has even contacted us to get a copy of some footage for incidents that have happened there in the past. Next slide. Again, this is just a nighttime picture, and you can see again the box drawn around the person just indicates that it's picking up activity, movement, and a person. Next slide. So now into our UAVs or our drones. This is a stock photo of one of the drones that we have, the Matrice 300 RTK. Next. And this is just one of the deployments that we had. Several of our officers, along with some of the sheriff's office, are there, and this was an apprehension of somebody that I believe had escaped from, yeah. So we had the drone deployed and was able to, follow and watch.
From another agency, by the way.
Yeah, yes, an outside agency. Next. This was just from the other day, the Baby Jim's fire. Got some aerial footage of that. Next. This is just an example of one of the drones. Actually about 3 of the drones we have thermal imaging, so it helps for night flying if we're looking for somebody that may be lost. You can turn on the thermal imaging.
That's a power line there. That's hot. Switch off the power line.
Next. Oh, that's me. That was last National Night Out. My daughter and I were there, and we were launching the drone, and that's a picture from the drone. Next. I'll turn this back over to the chief.
We talked about drones too, and another benefit for the drones is community policing, right? So on National Night Out, we take our drones out. The kids love it. It's all the whole STEM thing, getting kids energized with drones, and that just kind of reminded me of Todd flying at the National Night Out event, which is Tuesday, by the way, cheap plug. So see you guys Tuesday night. So what will the future look like? So that's kind of what we're doing now. That's everything we have as if we're sitting here today at the police department. But what would the future look like? Nicole, we can go to the next slide. And it's a lot. So this is kind of the stuff that's kind of industry-wise and law enforcement that's coming down the road. As we talked about AI is in everything we use today. You have a cell phone in your hand right now, it's using AI. Air drones use AI. Everything pretty much we use today that's a computer has a computer and uses AI. So when you use your cell phone and it tells you you're 8 minutes from home, and then your phone just hasn't gone home. On your maps, it just knows because it's using AI. Because it's picking up your human behavior, your patterns off your geolocate on your phones. It says, well, his pattern is he goes home this time of day. That's why I'm gonna give him the map suggestion how to get home. I don't know why you need a map to get home, but it gives you a map suggestion to get home. It's using AI. Facial recognition is a big thing in law enforcement. It's a big ethics issue. It's a very controversial thing that's going on in law enforcement right now in general assemblies across the country. So how law enforcement uses facial recognition to identify persons. And it's they have companies like Clearview AI has kind of mastered facial recognition. So we can use AI facial recognition technology in Virginia. It's highly mandated, highly regulated by state code. It's very specific when you can use it. But can you imagine working a sex crimes case on a computer crimes case against a child, and you don't know who you get the suspect, you get these images on the computer, but you can't identify the children who are the victims. That's where AI is really coming into practice, identifying children of sex trafficking and child pornography on computers. That's just one. You get a murder suspect who runs down the street and you have facial recognition software on the street, it's picking up that you can get a suspect identification pretty instantly using AI technologies through companies like Clearview AI. So some form of facial recognition will be coming to law enforcement. Again, it's available now. Some agencies are using it, not many. We're not currently, but it is coming down the road. Another technology coming, it will come. Drone is first responders. What that means is there are drones that are being nested throughout the town. And when a call comes in through the CAD system, when you call 911, it's going to generate a CAD alert on that drone nest. And that drone will take off instantly and fly over where that incident's going. So the drone will beat the police there. And you have overwatch pretty immediately. That is occurring now or in selected cities across the country. Probably the most successful city that's using it right now is kind of the model city is Chula Vista, California. They have the best drone first responder program in the country, but a lot of other agencies are using it. So they have drone nests throughout their city. 911 call comes in at Elm in Maine. The drone that's located near Elm in Maine automatically takes off even before the dispatcher dispatches the call to the officers. And they'll fly over top and they'll have overwatch immediately over that call. And it'll be the officers there. A lot of cities are using, I didn't put this on here, shot spotter technology. So there's audio microphones throughout the city. So when a gunshot is fired, it detects the gunshot, and it gives you exact coordinates where the gunshot's being fired by coordinates off the sound, off the audio of the gunshot. And then the drone will fly to that location where the gunshot's being fired. So I know Chicago just start doing that. Probably a good city to try. But some other cities are doing that as well. So it's a lot of amazing technology out there. Tethered UAVs, tethered drones is another technology out there where you actually create nests, and it's a tethered drone. Or tethered drones can go on top of police cars, on top of fire trucks is a big thing for tethered drones. And you can deploy them right from the top of your vehicle. They're tethered, they'll fly 365 days a year, 7 days a week, and never come down because it's powered through a tethered. And it'll stay up there forever, and you get 4K, high res, high zoom footage. So a lot of fire departments are using that for command and control and fire scenes. Police departments are using it already. So that's coming down the road. The next one's really interesting. Public-private camera shares. That's a big thing now too. So that robbery at Walmart that we talked about, we can do MOUs with Walmart, and the technology that we're about to get or going to get. We can have an MOU with Walmart and tap in directly into their camera system and use their camera system and see everything and control their camera systems like we're sitting at Walmart controlling their camera system. So you imagine a downtown business being robbed or being shoplifted. We get a 911 call. Well, someone can go right into that camera system. If we have that MOU signed with that business owner or that shop owner, then that we can tap right into that camera system before the officer gets there. And we know what's going on inside that building before the police officer even gets there. Or think about alarm calls at 3 o'clock in the morning. You get an alarm call at a business or a house that's vacant, somebody's on vacation, we have that MOU signed, the officers on that street will have full access to that video before they even get there. So that's being used now, that's happening now. Not here, but it's happening other places. We'll talk more about that in a second. Upgraded CAD RMS upgrade, that's in progress. The town and the county, we share CAD RMS, which CAD is computer aided dispatch RMS system. That's in progress to get the upgrade, which brings more technologies like vehicle locators for our police cars and some other technologies built in. They'll help with technology. A lot of cities now and a lot of towns, municipalities across the country now using telephoto zoom, PTZ cameras, which is pan tilt zoom cameras. So we talked to an agency out in New Mexico. They have 4 cameras up at elevated positions throughout their town, water towers, cell phone towers, and they have these high-res pan tilt zoom cameras. Any crime that happens in that town, they zoom into that crime as it's happening, even before the police officer gets there. So they can cover pretty much every part of that town with those 4 cameras where they're positioned. More Flocks. Flocks is probably the industry standard in license plate reading right now. There's other companies that do it, but Flock is kind of taking over the market as far as street cameras, license plate readers, and today they just announced a shot spotter technology that's all integrated. So they just came up with that today. And our Vigilon pan tilt zoom street cameras, well, maybe in the future. And then private Flocks. So as Todd was talking about, Flocks started by a guy who carried the app, who put it in his mailbox in a paper bag or a plastic bag, and because of a vandalism issue they were having in their neighborhood. It started in the HOA neighborhood watch setting. That's how Flocks started. So today, let's say a business or a community or a neighborhood who's having an issue in their neighborhood, they can purchase a Flock. They can put a Flock up in their neighborhoods and then give us access to that camera system, and you can read every tag and get every car description that goes inside that neighborhood. There's neighborhood HOAs across the country that have these Flocks in their neighborhoods. There's businesses. I know like Lowe's is a big Flock customer. Lowe's does not have a Flock, but there's a lot of Lowe's across the country. They put Flocks coming in and out of their parking lots because of stealing. Any type of crimes happens at Lowe's, they get a tag just like that, and they'll have that tag information to arrest the suspect. So again, HOAs, business communities, and we get that MOU when they purchase that Flock, they purchase that system, they contact us, we do a MOU, we have access to their camera systems. It retains the same way, it retains 30 days, they get rid of it. And also, and I didn't put this on here, private security cameras. There's a lot of agencies now that are doing MOUs with private homeowners who have ADT or Ring doorbells. I mean, how many has a system? I do. And you do an MOU with that private homeowner. So let's say your house is getting broken into. Let's say you got vandalism. Let's say you have any crime that's occurring at your house. You can have that MOU signed. The police department have access to that camera system within your house, interior or exterior, both and or however you want it, however the homeowner wants it. And then whenever we access that camera system, it's a full audit. We have to notify the homeowner when we tapped into that system. So that is amazing. It's like RE. It's RE amazing. No, go ahead.
Did you set the drone up when you had to vacate the help desk center?
We did not, I don't think. No, we did not. We did not. If it was probably a more prolonged incident for an Overwatch, we probably would have. $3,000 a year. Correct, Tom? $3,000 a year. That's you paying for a license agreement. Yeah, that's full installation. That's full total cost, $3,000 a year.
Who's responsible for oversight for all of these things that are supposed to go away in 30 days? So if you've got a business that's doing it, as opposed to the police say.
Right. So the state. So that those tags get stored into the state fusion center, correct?
No, it's a Flock.
Flock
On their system. Yeah.
So I got the tech guy here. Yeah. So it goes in their system, and they get rid of it after 30 days. They do a dump every 30 days.
Why 30 days?
That's the general best practice that's been established. I know the governor, the AG in Virginia wrote an opinion letter about LPR. See, LPR technology has been around for many, many years. We've had an LPR on our police cars for many years, And the AG a couple of years ago did an opinion piece about LPR data being retained for 30 days. Most of the states around the country is 30-day retention period. That's just the established best practice that they've picked. I don't know why 30 days, but that's kind of the best practice that's been established. That's a good question. All right, next. So here's a big thing. So I don't want to throw more else at you, but one more thing. Real-time crime centers. So how do we leverage, think about all this technology is coming in, videos, license plate readers, private cameras, private home cameras, Walmart cameras. Well, if crime happens, how do we leverage all this technology to be able to make it usable in real time? So the officer on that call can have that data, can have that video, can have that tag, can have that suspect information at the time of the call. So now there's a big push across the country for real-time crime centers. A lot of big cities, a lot of bigger agencies have functioning real-time crime centers now. So pretty much a real-time crime center is you have an employee or employees who sits behind a video wall that has a full wall full of videos and has all these different feeds coming at one time. And as a call comes in, and they have a communications console, kind of like a dispatcher. When these calls come in, they have all this data available to them, along with databases and networks and like Accurate TLOs, a couple of databases that we use for suspect information. And they're not even asked to do it. Their job is to get all this information, get it to the officers in real time. So they're working those computers, working those screens, putting those tags in that system, working those cameras in real time, and getting that. That's why they have a communication console. Instead of calling dispatch and dispatch calling the officer about this information, that real-time crime center employee is on the radio giving the officer real-time information as the officer, either before he gets there or after he gets there. And that's the goal. That's what makes. We have crime center now. We have an analyst here. We have detectives, and we manage crime. Having a real-time crime center is having an employee dedicated to get that information to the officer in real time. That's what's the real time, or near real time, I should say. So that's kind of where a lot of law enforcement's headed. Now, real-time crime centers, it can be a one person in front of one terminal and one computer. Or it can be an elaborate room like this with video walls all the way around the walls. Depends on how big your jurisdiction is. A lot of agencies run real-time crime centers full-time. A lot of smaller agencies run incident-based real-time crime centers. Like the real-time crime center doesn't occur until an incident happens that's needed. It's like an agency our size and the amount of crime we have, ours would be certainly an incident-based real-time crime center. It wouldn't be full-time. So it'd be kind of a collateral movement other than fully functioning, full-time. Virtual pursuits is a big thing. So you have all this technology. You can literally virtually pursue someone without pursuing them. So, they go across a couple license plate readers. They'll go across a couple of Vigilant cameras. They go across, they run a credit card somewhere. We can pull a database up and see where they run their credit card, a stolen credit card at. So it's a kind of virtual pursuit. So you can virtually pursue someone. That's the goal of a real-time crime center. So you can get that suspect apprehended much sooner than the way law enforcement is operating today. So our goal here at the police department is to have something in a form of an incident-based real-time crime center by January 1st. And again, that's a person that's on staff here now today that has some systems available to him or her, and we have a her identified already. We have a crime analyst. That'll be a kind of a collateral duty. And when we have a robbery, a serious crime, or it can be a shoplifting that it's a Walmart, we have access to their cameras. She can get on that computer, get on that camera system, and alert those officers even before they get there, or who they're looking for, where they ran, what car they got into, put that car into the flock system, and then everything starts happening. So that is our goal. And we just got a grant through Department of Criminal Justice Services, so we did purchase some equipment kind of leading up to this for January 1st. But most of our real-time crime center will be grant funded as well.
Question?
Yep, question?
The grants, what do we give them with the grants? The Fed or the state, whoever's giving the grant, what are we giving back to them? What are you giving them?
Nothing.
No match.
No match.
No, I'm not talking about money, I'm talking about information. Are they getting our information? Do they have access to our information?
No, but we can elect to share with other law enforcement agencies, like the flock system. We can elect to share air tag information for those 30 days that we get it, just like they're sharing the information with us, because we all know crime has no boundaries, and we do. So we have to rely on technology like this to catch suspects when they cross our boundaries, when they have no boundaries. It's like unfair playing rules, but that's what we live under. So the federal government, no, I don't think it's any federal government. It's mostly local law enforcement. Next, Nicole. So if you don't take anything else away to here today, but 3 important takeaways. Here at the police department, that's why we're doing this tonight. We'll keep doing it to civic groups and different organizations, whoever asks us, is we'll always consider the balancing act. So we entrust and we value personal privacy, but we also want to catch criminals and catch up with the technology that are using against us to commit crime. So we have to stay at least even more, a little bit ahead of them. Transparency will always be key. That's why we're here tonight. We'll continue to be transparent. We'll have policies in place as we progress through this journey of having policies. So when we do capture somebody or something that we don't need to, the first person is going to know is the person that we captured. And we're committed to providing immediate service to our victims by providing real-time intelligence to our police officers on the street. That's the goal. It's an officer safety issue. It's a victim safety issue. It's a public safety issue. It's getting that information to the officer on the street when he needs it or he or she needs it at the time of the crime. And that is our ultimate goal. So the way we're operating now, because agents across the country, is sometimes this technology takes a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days after the fact of the crime, by the time we get this technology or we get the data that we need, and we want it in real time so we can get the person apprehended as quickly as we can. Any questions? Yeah.
Good show. In Bill Park, I had my 2 brick posts that run over, and still haven't heard nothing about it. And we've had several places like that in our subdivision done that. One of them, somebody tore down one man's fence there, demolished, and went down the road and one did and hit a man's car sitting in his driveway. And none of this stuff has ever been anything come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to pay for the damage themselves.
Yeah.
In our subdivision, it's getting like a junkyard. It got cars in the stupid yard. It completely filled the yard up. And are they selling them? What are they doing with all these cars?
Yeah.
Are all these people living in them houses? I mean,
Yeah.
common sense tell you, the whole yard is full of cars. They got to be living in a house.
Yeah.
There ought to be something done about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Parsons got terrible.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you, and we, certainly those specific cases, we can get back with you individually and look at those cases, and I'm not sure how long ago they were, but we can certainly get to that information to you. But again, if you can imagine technology, if you had, if it happened at 3 o'clock in the morning at Bell Park, and let's say we had a flock camera in Bell Park, it's going to capture that tag, and we'll have a vehicle, we have an address, we have a driver, or the registered owner of the vehicle, who most likely may be the driver, where they live, and we can go to that house that night, if we had that technology in Bell Park. So that's a good example of the future. So, yeah, hit and runs are always a problem, and volume, number of cars and volume in neighborhoods is a problem. We're a growing little community, and with growth, sometimes we run into these hiccups. But certainly we'll get that specific information from you. We can see what's going on.
I'd like to find out on the Azalea Street, like you guys go out to the one-way street, and they put that thing in there,
Mhm.
you turn right, turn only.
Mm-hmm. On Bell.
Yeah, everybody's going down that, making a left and gone.
Yeah.
I mean, and I asked the police officer here one day, how could I do it? Can you go up there? That's when they were sitting over behind the trash can. And he told me, just go up and make a U-turn, come back and go out. I said,
Yeah.
"Is it against the law?" No, don't you make the proper U-turn.
Right,
You
right.
gotta Go on.
That's right.
There's so many cars going through there now, they going down and making left turn, you can hear them from my house when they take off down there and go up through the subdivision.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we can start looking at it as well. And then I know Lieutenant Banks sitting behind you. He controls our traffic complaints, and I'm sure he's writing that down. So I used to write, when I was patrol, I used to write some summonses there. People take the left-hand turn. That was one of my spots. I used to sit watching those left-hand turns out of there. Yeah. Thanks. Any other questions?
Good job, son. Thank you.
When you get that from Ari, boy, you take it and run. All right. Thank you very much. All right, Captain Terrell, you're up.
First and foremost, I want to say we're experiencing some rather exhausting heat for the next 3 days. So please stay hydrated, stay in shaded areas. The reason that I say that is because we had a citizen walk down the road. They were heading to another location, and they're in our lobby now. There's almost a heat casualty. So that's why I bring this up to you. Some of the events that we have coming up here in the future, July 28th and 29th, we have Pack the Patrol car, which will be at Walmart from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So we're gathering the much-needed school supplies for the children of this community. So if you can stop by, we certainly appreciate it. Also on August 4th and the 5th, we're having another Pack the Patrol car event. The locations that we will be at Target, Big Lots, and Ollie's. The same time will be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So please, if you can help assist with these much-needed school supplies, we certainly appreciate it. As Chief Settle mentioned, August 1st will be National Night Out. If you are in a neighborhood watch group, your liaison should have contacted you about this major event. If you aren't participating or a part of a neighborhood watch group, I want to encourage each and every one of you to turn on your outside light or whatever. That signifies that, you know, we are united and we're fighting a crime together. So please do so. August the 9th, as we know, is the first day of school. Just want to remind the public that we will certainly be out with the increased presence.
Say that again.
August the 9th, well, is the first day of school. So we'll be out with increased presence. And lastly, on August the 10th, we're going to have our community walk from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That will be at the Madison Grove Neighborhood Watch Group. That's an initiative that the Chief of Police started that will be in your neighborhood watch groups to come out and walk with the citizens. Here's some of the complaints that you have or concerns in your areas, so we may address those better. Do you believe that's all the current of it? Yes. Maybe that should be the next one we start. That's all I have.
Good evening. I'm Sergeant Caruso with the Police Department. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about National Night Out, even though Captain Terrell kind of stole a little bit of my thunder there on that. As he said, this year it'll be on August 1st in all of our neighborhood watch groups. This will actually be the 40th annual National Night Out. This year the event is sponsored by Associa, Starbucks, ADT, and LED. Last year in 2022, it involved over 17,000 communities from all 50 states, including 38 million neighbors. National Night Out is designed to heighten our crime prevention and awareness, generate support within our local communities, and just help everybody come together, get to know each other. Like Captain Terrell stated, one of our biggest movements that we do within the communities is lights on for lights out on crime. So we ask that everybody leave their front porch lights on in the evenings, and we look forward to seeing everybody out there. Any questions in reference to our events this year? It's throughout town, all of our different neighborhood watch groups. Yeah, we've got over 25 different groups within the town of the different neighborhoods, and each individual group hosts their own. All right. Thank you very much.
Well, that concludes our meeting. I wanted to say thank you for everyone attending in person, watching live on our Culpeper Facebook page, and Culpeper Media for being here recording this. That's one of our biggest supporters here tonight. So without further ado, I know why most people are here. It's for the door prizes. So I will ask Master Police Officer Michael E. Grant and J.B. Smith, as he's commonly referred to come on up. And we'll go ahead and do door prizes.